Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to Live with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm super excited for today's guest. We are talking about Attract Your Dream Client with business coach, the beautiful Steph Shinabery. Come on down.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, super excited. So I actually had, when I posted that we were going to be doing our interview today, I had some people message me that were like, ooh, this is a really exciting topic.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. I love it. I love
Yes.
it. Good.
Yes. So tell me about your journey and how you got into coaching and just what led you here.
Sure. It's kind of like a crazy long journey.
Uh-huh.
So I'm an artist, and I'll make this the short version. Over 30 years. I'm an artist, but I wanted to do art, but I listened to mom and dad and went into nursing, and got pretty miserable there. Long story. I became an alcoholic. I went into recovery, and then I went to art school, and it was literally the best time of my life. But I couldn't figure out how to make the leap, how to make the jump from nursing to art financially. So I went back to school because I really didn't like being in nursing, and I became a nurse anesthesiologist, which is like you work with one patient at a time. It's really fun. I love anesthesia, but I was still missing this thing. I was just not fulfilled. And I love helping people reach their highest potential. And so a couple of years ago, it's actually been 3 years ago, I actually kind of fell into the marketing space through network marketing. That really wasn't my thing, but as I went further and further down the rabbit holes of marketing, learning attraction marketing, and then I've kind of branched off into a little bit different area, but it's still the same thing about attracting your dream clients.
Right.
And so I love helping people to really unpack their genius, their gifts, and put that into a system, a branded system that they can offer to people, to increase their impact and income and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's huge. And I definitely am so excited to hear your journey, to just see how you've taken, listening to that inner voice and realizing something was missing and you wanted something more, and taking a difficult time in your life and transforming it into something beautiful and using your platform to help others.
Right. And it is. I think people go along. I know just from my own journey and listening to other people's stories, they go along forever, just like, oh, I want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. And it's pretty soul crushing, really, especially there's two different ways. There's one thing where there's something else that you should be doing, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And the other is that you have this thing that you love that you're not doing. And, but it's pulling you. And my test is, do you pass the snooze test? Do you pass the snooze button test? Okay. So you probably know where I'm going with this. If you hit the snooze button several times every morning, oh my God, I got to get up. It's time to make the donuts, whatever your calling is, whatever your thing is. And you're just like stumbling through like a zombie. Then to me, you're probably not living your best life, your full potential. But if you jump up before the alarm goes off, or when the alarm goes off, you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to my work. I can't wait to get to my studio or to help my clients or whatever, then you've passed the snooze test and you're on your path. And that's kind of like, it's like, like what gets you out of bed in the morning? I think Vishen Lakhiani loves to ask that question, but
I love it so much. And that's such a true testament. It's like, okay, you have to really self-analyze. Are you jumping out of bed? Are you excited to go to work, to go to your job? Does it feel like it's not a job? Is it more of a passion? Or is it something that you're like, oh God, I got to get up. Oh God, I got to go to work.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you mentioned something. I don't know how you said it, but it was about awareness and having the awareness, first of all, that something is not right with us. And we can feel that in our body, right? We can usually feel it like in our center. For me, it's usually right in the center of my chest. But so, recognizing that's really, recognizing there's a problem. Okay. That's pretty much what it is. If we're not aligned, there's a problem. And so then asking the right questions, when we ask our brain better questions, it gives us better answers. I mean, we've got awesome computers up here, and a lot of times we just don't ask the right questions. And so, asking the right questions and following those things that you're interested in. If you're interested in something, there's probably something there to at least go explore.
Yes, I love that. Explore something that you're interested in, and you don't have to wait till tomorrow, next year, the next day to just start little and start now.
Right. And this is a mistake that I made because I worked so much that I felt like I didn't have the energy for creativity, because I would want it when I got in the studio, I didn't want to leave it. I wanted to stay in there, and it was always a time thing. And so it was all kind of, in a way, it was a little more painful to try and do it half-heartedly than, because it just always just kept reminding me. However, I got to a point in my life a few years ago where I just said, you know what, I'm just going to create. It may be 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm just going to get in there and create. And so I set up all these expectations of, no, it has to be this way and has to be this way, but really not waiting for anything, like being now what we want to be. And when we do that, when we can stay in that place of gratitude and joy, then the other things start revealing themselves and we can go after them.
That is so true. That is so beautiful. That's such a great word of advice. It's so true that things will start to flow, and things will start to follow, and things will just kind of start to open, and more things kind of just become in your pathway and start coming towards you. Yeah,
exactly.
I love that. It's something like David Meltzer had stated, I think it was either today or yesterday. He said, you get to go to do something instead of I have to. And so it's like changing that mindset.
Changing our language. Yes. I was going through a period of, I should do this. I should be doing this. I should, like, no, you don't have to do anything. Like it's if you want to do it, then it's good. And really it does affect the way you show up. It's like, I want to do this. And I get to do this. And that's true.
Yeah, so true. So I love the fact that you talk about attracting your dream clients. So a lot of times, being a business owner myself, I have a dance studio as well as my talk show. And it's challenging trying to, please certain customers. Do you say certain things? Do you have to stay centered in what you want and what you want to invoke? And that's a lot of questions that a lot of people are always asking me.
Right. I think this is such a good topic. And I've never been a brick and mortar business owner, so I'm not sure, but I imagine it's really a very similar thing. So for me, it's about who do you like. When we start out in business with my clients, it's like, let's get centered on and aligned our life and mission and values in business before we start trying to figure out which direction we're going. Because that's really the mistake I made in my life, right? If I would have had somebody coaching me this when I was 21 or 22, I think things would have been different. And I know things happen, they're supposed to, and it's all good, but really, I didn't want to make these same mistakes in business. So I call it align before you design. And so really getting my little wheels spinning. Are you still hearing me okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Getting really centered with what you are, whether it's journaling or meditation, and starting out with what are your values? Like, what is it that you value? Because what you value is really what you want to spend your time on. And this is going to the client. I promise.
I love it.
And then getting aligned with that, and then getting like a mission and like your mission for your business. And then all in that same thing of aligning is this, and this may come through experience when you're working with clients, but actually, who is it that gives you energy? Who lights you up? Because that's the people that are going to get the most benefit from us, because we're going to give them our energy. And when we're working with people that aren't in alignment with us, it's okay. It's like they've got their people out there somewhere else. Sure. And so it's, I've worked with clients that it's not that I didn't like them or anything like that. It's just they really weren't a perfect fit for me. And they weren't my dream client because they weren't the person that it was draining. It was energy draining. And so you know this just going through life, the type of person that drains you, the type of person that, that gives you energy. So that's the start, like having that knowledge of that. And then the attracting comes through, it's about being authentic, of course, being yourself, because we don't want to be someone else on social media or at the front of our business. And then we sign people up and we get them inside and then we unzip and we're someone else. Right. So being able to show up, authentically. And when you take a stand on stuff and you're going to like repel the right people and attract the right people. But then my favorite part is when you actually can bring your gifts into it, your genius, and you can put that into a uniquely branded system, a uniquely branded, I call it genius branding. Basically, it's your DNA in your process. And this becomes your intellectual property. This is how you stand out online. This sets you apart, and you become known for that. And so when you're solving a problem that people have, they're going to perk up, and then they're going to see all these other things that you've already got lined out.
That's true. You have me so inspired.
That's awesome. Good.
I love it so much. Yeah, these are such great words of advice because it is so important to really be authentic, in relationships, to be authentic in business, because you do attract the right people. And if there are people that you should not be attracting, like you said, it's okay. You don't have to be with everyone, because I'm a huge believer in energy lately. And now that I've focused more on that and letting some of the people that weren't in my tribe go and let them go to another place, I found more of the positive, uplifting people with fire within started gravitating towards me.
Yeah, I think I love the energy. I think we're vibrating at a certain level and other people are vibrating at another level. And so everybody needs to find their own tribe. But I do love that.
Yes. Hello, Wilmer. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the love. So as far as also something that was messaged to me about attracting your dream clients is as far as like pricing, and as far as, is it a devalue of yourself to lower your standards to try to accommodate people? Or do you just let people go by if you have a set standard?
Yeah, this is a really good question. And my stance on it is no, you don't lower your prices. If you're doing that for one person, you have to do it for everyone, for one thing. And the other thing is the people that are, that are your fit are gonna be willing to put the money. Like they have to have skin in the game, and they have to find a way to do it. If they really want it bad enough, they'll find a way to do it. And I mean, I'm not saying don't work with people or, that kind of stuff, but actually lowering your prices, there's things that you can do if people can't afford it. Like, the value ladder of like, they can work on your your free stuff or your less expensive stuff. Or you can actually, say, well, say you have like a 12-week dance class,
right?
And you can, and it's $3,000, and you say, well, no, I can't do $3,000, but I can do 15. Okay, well, you can take it for 6 weeks. So there's ways you can do it that work around it. And also sometimes just doing something like that, they get in there and they're like, oh my gosh, because typically the price that you're charging is less than the value that they're getting. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you're giving people, how to transform people's lives, and you really know how to do it, and you're really trying to solve a real problem, then the value that you're giving is probably way more than the price that you're asking.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, Wilmer said that's really smart. It's so true. And value is such a huge word, is valuing yourself and valuing what you bring to the table,
Right.
and staying true to yourself, being authentic with what you believe.
Yeah, I agree. I know this is an overused analogy or metaphor. One of those story is the story of Picasso. You know the one I'm talking about. Maybe
Yes,
they're in
yes.
a coffee shop and he's scribbling on or sketching on a napkin, and someone comes up to me and he's even about to throw it away. I can't ever remember, but she says, "Well, may I have that, or may I buy that?" And he said, "Sure, it'll be like $25,000." And she's like, $25,000. It took you 5 minutes to do that. He goes, "No, this took me 30 years." So people that see only the price may not be your ideal client, because they don't realize, like, I've invested well over 6 figures in my own coaching, and I still have a coach, and I'll always have a coach. Wow. And so we're always growing. And so they don't see what all we've brought to the table just by the price. So
Wow. Yeah. I love that. That's a beautiful story for sure. It's, the bigger picture.
Yeah. The bigger picture.
For sure. So coaching that you've been doing now has been, how long have you been in that now?
So I started out so I've been doing this for 3 years, but like I said, I started out in network marketing. I had some success in that. And then I realized that I really loved helping people do the marketing part. So finding your ideal client, how do you post on social media, those kind of things.
Okay.
But I realized that I really wanted to, then I went into affiliate marketing, and I learned even more about marketing, creating offers, that kind of stuff. But I realized that I wanted to launch my own thing. And so I did that. I actually didn't launch it till last July. I started working on it in February, launched it in last July, actually got my first clients last July. Nice. And it continues to evolve as I learn and grow. And I think our programs, just like I'm sure if you go learn new things in dance, you come back and teach those as well. Yeah. So I absolutely love coaching. I love helping people see the light bulbs go off and the transformations, and for them it's life-changing. It's life-changing for them to be able to, do the things that they love, and also, impact themselves financially and their families. And so it's pretty neat.
That's pretty cool. And it's really neat to see that you are helping, use your platform to help other people to not just find their passion, but find their passion that helps them to also monetize off of it.
Right. We have to monetize. I mean, unless you want to make it your passion a hobby, and that's cool too. That's fine. But I'm working with people as a business coach that I'm trying to help them actually learn how to take their genius and get it out to the world. I feel like I want to work with people that don't just want to find their passion. They don't just want to make money, but they actually want to have an impact. And yes. My Facebook group's Purpose Driven Profits for coaches, consultants, and experts. And that's what it's about. It's like really people that know that they have something that they can go change people's lives with.
Yeah, I love that. And it's such a huge domino effect is, one person making an impact, and then the next person, and then it just keeps going and going.
Yes, exactly. It's the ripple effect. Yes. You may help 10 people, you may help 100 or 1,000, but what if those people go on to help tens of thousands and millions? And so it all started with your little idea, your seed of an idea. It's so cool. It is amazing. I love the whole 6 degrees of separation, thing, but so I think that is amazing that we really do. I'm from the science background of every action has a reaction. So whether you're frowning or yelling at someone in traffic and they take that with them to work, or you're letting someone in and waving if they cut you off and they take that to work. So it's kind of you can break it down to really simple, whatever we do, it's something else is going to happen on the other side of that.
That's so true. I have been such a huge believer, especially since before, I don't know, maybe since COVID, is really tuning in to affirmations, to manifesting, to making an impact, and being careful with even the words I say, because it's such a huge, it affects you.
Yeah, I think words are so incredibly It's so incredibly powerful. I'm actually working with a new copywriting coach, and really not only just saying affirmation, which I know that if you do affirmations, you're doing affirmations, but you have to have the feeling that goes with it for it to actually rewire your brain.
Yes.
But actually having those in front of you in as many places as possible. I never really thought about the reason why, except for, yeah, you see them more, you read them more. But his reason was, the reason you have them there is because when you need it, you're not trying to find it in your mind. It's just like, oh, it's right there. It's like, that's what I need. That's the one I need right now.
I love it. I'm going to write them down more.
Yeah. And actually, I've never been great. I've like tried to like say them over and over, and that doesn't really, it's kind of like, for me, I do gratitude practice versus a gratitude list. And I tried writing 10, 20, 30 gratitudes, right, and just writing it. Yeah, it did something, but it didn't like change my state, set me up to win for the day. But when I can pick one or two things that have a memory, it could be something that I'm looking for in the future. It could be I'm happy to be alive, or it could be some memory of my dog or something, and just feel the gratitude like flow through your body. And that change, like you can't be happy. You can't be sad, angry, resentful, anything when you're in gratitude. And I think you have to use that gratitude with your affirmations to actually have them to be, life-changing.
Yes, that is so true. I'm going to be focusing on feeling it, having the gratitude, really tuning into it instead of just saying the words or just listing things off. It's just being really in depth with it.
Right. And I think that the other thing of that, if you're doing affirmations, is having that vision, a vivid vision. There's a great book called Vivid Vision, and it kind of shares how to do that. But having that vision and actually, visualizing it every day, whether that's, you can stack it with your affirmations, but when we can create that vision, it creates a memory in our brain that we can't tell. Our brains don't know if it was 30 years ago or if it, happened yesterday. So that's a really neat thing too. I'm fascinated with brain science. So.
I love it. I love it so much. You've inspired me to read that book. So I'm going to check that out after we get done later.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's pretty neat.
And it's so cool because coming from a dance background, I professionally compete in aerial dance, and right before competitions, we give like a week break for the body to kind of just like prepare and mentally vision doing the routine nightly over and over again, which still, creates muscle memory.
Right. Oh yeah. I think some of the best studies on visualization have come from athletes, because I know that, they'll hire a coach that just does mindset stuff. And I'm an athlete. I'm fascinated with mindset. So I can remember myself playing basketball and I didn't know to do this. Like, It was just something that I would just sit there and like shoot free throws in my head, and they were swish, 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 or play the game in my head, not even realizing that was actually helping me to become a better basketball player. Yeah. The muscle memory, the whole studies of, there's one on the piano where there are two sets of people that they're both pianists, but one practices the drills in their head and the other actually in, just on the keyboard. And when they do brain scans, both of them improve, not much difference in their approval, but also their brains light up the same place with the ones that are just thinking it. So
so incredible. It's the whole mind, the whole body, the whole spirit. Everything is just so just amazing.
It is.
And how much we can really control things.
It is. It's, I feel like so many people out there don't realize the potential that they have, the power that our brain and if we learn the right tools and have a burning desire for that life, then we can accomplish it. I really feel that's a big, yeah.
I love it. Yes. Follow that burning desire and believe in yourself. You can do it, guys.
That's right.
I love it. Wilmer said, this is super powerful. Oh,
Thanks.
We are having a great conversation. I could talk to you all day.
Oh, I love it. I love these conversations. This is amazing.
I know. I love it so much. So what words of advice would you give someone who is wanting to, find their passion, who wants it to be more than just a hobby, who wants to monetize off of it? How do they even sell themselves or put themselves out there?
Right. So I feel like the first thing you want to do is really kind of like, explore what it is, like gifts that you have. What gifts, what am I good at? What do I love to do? Like looking back over your life, because you can combine different things. So you might have, you might be really good in one area and then really good in another area and not really want to do either one. But what if they came together and made something totally new? So like looking back over your life on different things that you've excelled at and that you enjoyed, and bringing those out. And I like mine, like brain dumping it on the page. And then like, you may not know how you can make it work. So that I don't know who said this originally, but it's not the how. Don't worry about the how. If you know how to do it, it's not a big enough goal. So you just want to know what it is that you want to do. And so really getting clear on kind of like what it is that you can bring to the table and what kind of like vision you have for that. You may not know how to monetize it. That's not necessary right now. That's what you hire a coach for, or you can, look at videos or however you want to do it. But there's a way to unpack that. First, it's really figuring out what it is. And then there's probably somebody out there that wants what you have. I mean, there's so many niches on anything people do, someone else out there in the world wants to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So, and so there's a way, with the way the internet is and education is right now, that you can get your message out to anybody in the world. So once you have that figured out, then there's things like, okay, who is this for? Because you have to know where to find them. You have to know, what it is that they want. And so then there's the whole marketing thing. Once you have that figured out, then there's a process to like, how do I market this? How do I show up online? I use social media. So there's all different, you can do it through email, but social media is free.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to access and learn how to do that.
I love it. You're dropping so many gems today.
Oh, good.
So much good stuff. Special shout out to Todd and for introducing us.
Oh yeah. Todd. That's absolutely Todd and Adam.
Incredible team.
Yes, they are. I love it.
Is there anyone that you want to do a special shout out to?
There's so many people that I could. I have a couple of coaches. One of my favorite coaches is Alex J. Moscow. He has a great vivid vision on his website at Alex J. Moscow. You'll have to think it's on his about page.
Okay.
And his girlfriend, Jennifer Hootie, is actually a copywriter, and she actually helps people write their vivid vision and put it into the format that Alex has, so that it's like a brochure with photos, and this is where I'm going to be in 10 or 5 years or whatever. This is what my team's going to look like. This is what my building's going to look like. And so really getting that vivid vision. I thought I would pick something that we'd already talked about. So
I love it so much. Yeah, I'm so inspired and motivated now to really tonight, once I get done with my day, is really do the vivid vision and really focus on, seeing what I'm really wanting. I love it.
Absolutely. And this is something that I had to, that I still struggle with when I start a new one. So when you first start trying to figure out what your vivid vision is, you may know what it is, but you want to get it into like the nitty gritty details. What does the candle smell like? What does your house look like? What are the senses, your 5 senses? What is it, putting those into it. At first, it's going to be blurry and you can't see it. But as you start adding little pieces, then it's going to become clearer and clearer and clearer. And it really, there's a great video by Frank Kern on YouTube, and it's called Core Identity. And he talks about the perfect day, but it's a lot about it's some of the stuff that we've been talking about, but it's also about vision, and it's kind of like a cool video to watch.
Wow.
All of his stuff came true. There's lots of those stories where people like, this is what I saw, this is what came true, because thoughts really do become things. So
they really do. I'm such a huge believer in that. I had some stuff happen with my home 2 years ago where my roof leaked and my pipes broke, my AC leaked. I had like 4 things in my house that leaked, and I had no idea how I was going to fix it. It was so financially unachievable that I would have to do stuff, and I didn't have a place to stay. And I really focused and saw people helping me. I saw floors getting replaced, my roof getting done. I could see the colors. I could feel the energy of a different environment. And I would picture staying at friends' houses with my little dog. And somehow over 1.5 years, my house got completely fixed.
It's
and
amazing.
People in the community helped me. And it was just a miracle. And I keep looking back like, wow, that was a really intense, powerful, incredible moment, because I was so centered and so visualist.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Are you sharing these? Like, do you share this kind of stuff with your dance clients?
I should share this.
Yeah, you get a thing going, and I mean, I think it'll change their. And if you're working with younger people, it might be kind of hard because it might be hard to visualize.
Yeah. I love that. I'm gonna take this idea. Thank you. Awesome. You've inspired me again.
Oh, fantastic! I love it. That's one of my things is trying to inspire people.
Else that you wanted to let the viewers know?
No, I'd love it's Shinabery, Shinabery. And from there you can get to my Facebook group. You can message me there.
Okay.
And that's
awesome. Yeah, and I will post it, and then I will come look for your Facebook group too, so I can join. Yes. Was there anything's coming up for you in the future?
As far as
any projects, or as far as any?
So I was in a book this year called Women Who Boss Up in Secrets of Health, Wealth. It's a long title, Secrets of Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle, I believe. And we became #1 bestsellers, but the physical book got delayed. And so that's coming out in the next month or so. So hopefully to get some of those out. And then I'm launching my group coaching program coming up, and possibly some people about actually doing it as a partnership with some other people. So I'm not sure how that's going to go yet, because it's all just kind of in the works, but definitely launching that. Some of the best learning is in a group.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to see your journey and to follow all of the amazing things that you're doing. You're such a huge inspiration, and have so many today's interview.
Thank you so much.
I love it. What is it that you want to be remembered for?
I would have to say inspiring action, empower to reach their highest potential. I really always feel like my mission is, I feel like now I'm doing that through business, but it could be a conversation or whatever. So I think one of the best compliments I've had is I've had people come up to me several years later. I've had it on the bike. I've had it other areas. I've been riding bikes with them for years, and you're a biker. You're the one that inspired. And I'm like, wow, how do you don't even realize these? Like, we don't ever realize the impact we're having in the world, because we're impacting people every day that will. And I think that's amazing too. Action and empowering others to get all put here for a reason. And when you're doing your thing, you can feel it. It feels good. You're excited. It's like you want to jump out of bed in the morning.
Yes. You feel that fire inside of you, and you find that.
Right. Exactly.
I love it. Excited to take some of your tips talked about.
Yeah, I love that, Jacqueline. I thank you so much for sharing